Okay, class, welcome to the remote YouTube class. At this point, you've already had Tuesday night, you had your first test, and we did one unit into Unit 2, and now we're going to move on to do two more sections in Unit 2. So you should watch these videos, however many there happen to be. They're broken up into 15-minute segments. Watch these videos. This will be section 2.2 and 2.3. You'll have homework on 2.2, 2.3, and then there will be a quiz. It will be out there on Moodle for you to print out and bring back on Tuesday when I see you again. Okay, so let's move on. So we're going to talk about circles today. So we're going to talk about, you know what a circle is. It's the set of all points that are equal distant from a point. So think of if you had a string and you put your thumb on one string into the string and you move the string around, that's how you make a circle. It's all the points that are the same distance from one point. So that's the definition of a circle. By definition, a circle is a set of all points in a plane given that lie in distance from a given point. The given distance is the radius of the circle and the given point is the center. So all that really means is if I had a point right here, to find all the points that are equal distance. So if I go out a certain distance, all the points that are that distance away, when I just think of moving this string around, and if I were a really good artist, I could have drawn that as a circle. So pretend that each of these is the same. So obviously that is the center of your circle right here, and the distance that you see from here to here is the radius. So that's the distance from the center to the edge of the circle. Now another thing that you may have learned is the line that goes all the way across the circle through the center, that is the diameter. So in this case, you've got the center, the radius, and the diameter of the circle. So let's move on to the equation for a circle. So this is an equation that you will need to know. So x minus h, all of that squared, plus y minus k, all of that squared, equals r squared. So this is a circle. This circle has a center at hk, and it has a radius of r. Okay, so let's just do an example real quick. So if I gave you x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 9. Okay, so if I were to look at that, the equation that I'm trying to get it in the form x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. That's my form for the equation of a circle. So it looks like if I wrote this as x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equal 3 squared, then I've got it in the form. So this tells me that this circle has a center at 2, 3, and it has a radius of 3. One of the common mistakes people make is they say that the center is negative 2, negative 3. Keep in mind, if you look at this formula, so this formula right here has a negative already built into it. So it's x minus h, y minus k. So the minus is built into the formula. So this circle has a center of 2, 3, and a radius of 3. If I were to graph this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I go over 2 and up 3. That's the center of my circle. If it has a radius of 3, then that means if I go down 3, and I go over 3, and I go up 3, and to the left 3, something like that, then you'll see if I do this, okay, that would be what this circle looks like. So the center of this circle is 2, 3, that's this point right here, okay, and a radius of 3. Okay, so that's the equation of a circle. Then they give you right here in this formula x squared plus y squared. That's just a circle that has a center at 0, 0. Because if I had something like x squared plus y squared equal 36, that's the same as x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 6 squared. So that is a circle that has a center of 0, 0, and a radius of 6. Okay, so that's just working with the equation of a circle. Let's do a couple more examples. They're saying find the center radius form of an equation of a circle that has these characteristics. Okay, so I want to figure out what the equation of that circle is. So when I'm learning a formula like this, I will write down the formula as many times as I can to make sure I try to get it into memory. So that is the equation I'm after. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So it looks like the center is at -3. So if I've got x minus -3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equal, the radius is 6. So that's 6 squared. So this really reduces down to x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals, you could write 36 or 6 squared, it doesn't matter. So in this case, now remember, I can look at that equation. I know that the center, so just by looking at these two numbers right here, that center is -3, 4, and then the radius is 6, because 36 is 6 squared. Okay, so this is just knowing the formula for the equation of a circle and then being able to work with that formula. Let's find the equation of a circle that's centered at 0, 0 with a radius of 3. So if the center is 0, 0 and the radius is 3, so my formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. Here the center is 0, 0, so h and k are just going to be 0. So I will get x squared plus y squared equal, and then 3 squared is 9. Okay, so that's the equation that has a center at 0, 0 and a radius of 9. So keep in mind that would be x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equal 3 squared. So you just have to get used to the center, hk, and then on the right side of that equal sign, the radius is some number squared. So it's the square root of whatever number. So when I look at the 9, my radius is not 9, my radius is 3. So it's the square root of that number. Let's just say, for example, what if I had something like this? X plus 2 squared plus y squared equal 5. So as many times as I can to help myself, I'm writing x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. Okay, so it tells me that h is the center. The center is going to be at -2, 0. So that's the center of this circle. And then the radius is going to be whatever the square root of 5 is. So the radius, so I can't get in an exact number. So the radius is the square root of 5. So the radius is not 5. Remember, the radius is the square root of 5. So now you see, if I were to square the square root of 5, I would get 5. So that's the equation of a circle that has a center of -2, 0 and a radius of the square root of 5. Now we did an example a moment ago, but let's graph a circle. So let's graph this circle that you see here. So I've got x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 36. So I know that the center of that circle is going to be -3, 4, and the radius is the square root of 36, which is 6. So if I graph this circle, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So -3, 4 is here. And it tells me that the radius of that circle is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere up here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way. So you can see that I'm not the best when it comes to making my own grid, but that's what this circle would look like. So it's centered at -3, 4, and it has a radius of 6. Okay, so if you can just find the center and the radius, then you can graph this particular circle. Okay. Graph the circle that you see here. X squared plus y squared equal 9. I guess rather than draw a bad graph, let's just look at the one they have. I can tell that this is, remember my form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. So here hk, the center, happens to be 0, 0, and the square root of 9 is 3, so r is 3. So you see what they graphed here at 0, 0 was the center, and then the radius was 3. So go 3 in every direction, and their circle is much nicer than mine. You can see that. So that is the circle that has a radius of 0, 0, a center of 0, 0, and a radius of 3. Now the next one is a formula for a circle, and you don't really need to memorize this formula, but you just need to be able to work with it. So what our goal is I need to take things that look like what you see here, x squared, y squared, x's and y's, and get it into the form of the equation of a circle. So if I can get it to be x minus h squared, y minus k squared equal some number, then I can determine what this circle is. So what this boils down to is you're going to get this number here on the other side of the equal sign. If this is positive, the square root of that's going to be your radius. If this is 0, then you don't have a circle. You can't have a circle with radius 0. You just have a point. So you just have the center. That's all you have. If this is negative, you can't have a circle with a negative radius. So all this boils down to is taking equations, putting them in the form of the equation of a circle, and then just seeing, do I have a circle or not? So again, if I have a positive number on the right side, that tells me the square root of that's my radius. If I have 0, then I can't have a circle with 0 radius. I only have the center. All I have is 1 point. If that number is negative, I don't have a circle because I can't have a negative radius. So what this boils down to is our ability to do something called completing the square. And I know we did that in a previous session, so we'll take a look and do that in just a moment.